Hello and welcome to Connect. I'm your host, Randy Shabilo. On today's show, we'll have the Saskatchewan Research Council President Mike Crabtree talking about the future development of the resource sector here in Saskatchewan. As always, we'd like to connect with you. Follow us on Facebook at ConnectYXE, catch past interviews on YouTube, email us at connectyxe@gmail.com, or leave a message at 306-665-3796. We have the Saskatchewan Research Council President Mike Crabtree with us. He's going to talk a little bit today about what's happening with the SRC. Thanks for coming to the studio.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Randy.
I want to talk about the Saskatchewan Research Council. It's a bit of a hidden gem. I know not very much about it, heard about it, but shed some light on the organization, its history, and how it came to be.
So, Saskatchewan Research Council, we're owned by Government of Saskatchewan. We're a Crown corporation. We've been in existence for 75 years. We have currently about 350 scientists, engineers, technicians focused on delivering value for Saskatchewan. If you strip away our mandate, it is about do good for the people of Saskatchewan socially and economically. So we operate in some leading edge areas in agriculture, in energy, and in environmental services.
So 350 scientists and employees that you have, they're all based in Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, or spread around? Or?
Predominantly in Saskatoon. We have a main operating site up there at 51st Street, and then we have a large environmental lab at Innovation Place near the university.
So in terms of research, you've got to have a bit of a mandate, I guess, in terms of 76 years, some things have changed. So what has evolved to where you're at now?
Tremendous evolution. And I think that we are a research, development, and commercialization organization. We work for the major companies in this province, right across the industrial, mining, and resource sector. But we do sort of research with a small r, development with a very big D, and commercialization with a very big C. So we're really interested in taking and developing technologies with clients and taking those to market. So we're very much focused on delivering value through commercialization. And you see that from our impacts. Since just 2003, we've delivered nearly $15 billion of value into the Saskatchewan economy. And last year alone, it was over $1 billion.
Obviously significant and welcomed. So how do you look at across the wide array of things that we could research or study or try and commercialize? You're moving towards rare earth minerals, or we talked about microreactors and so on. In terms of the rare earth items that we have in Saskatchewan, we long talked about potash and wheat, oats and barley and gas and oil. This is a bit of a nuance to learning something about the province that I never really knew about. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I think rare earths in particular, but they're part of a group of minerals that are becoming increasingly important for what we're in, which is the energy transition. This century will very much transition us from oil and gas into what you might call energy minerals. Those minerals that are used to produce the nuclear reactors, the wind turbines, the photovoltaic cells, the aspects around hydrothermal. So these are the materials that go to produce the capability to make that renewable or net zero energy. So rare earths are an important component of that. And one of the things I say a little bit lightheartedly is that, people have usually never heard of rare earths, but they're the most important thing that you have never heard of, in the sense that they are in our mobile phones, they're in our vehicles, they're in our computers, they're in the lights here, the televisions and this. They're also used to produce our food, our clothes. So if rare earths suddenly disappeared, unfortunately, Randy, you and I would be sitting here naked looking at a windy sky, which I'm sure the viewers don't need to see. Yeah, but the importance of rare earths specifically is that China dominates the market. They have 99% of the market. It's an understanding that that we in North America and specifically in Canada need to develop that industry. And we are going to be a major supplier of rare earth ores. What SRC is looking to do, and funded from government of Saskatchewan, is looking to create that midstream. So not only do we produce the ore, rather than just simply selling it to exporting and selling it, we get the opportunity to produce the metals and maybe even the magnets that go into the things like electric vehicles or wind turbines. Why is that important to Saskatchewan? If we sell a piece of ore for $1, if we convert that to a piece of a rare earth magnet or metal, that increases its value by 30 times. So we want to keep that value here. So what we're doing as Saskatchewan Research Council is proving out the capability to be able to do that at an industrial scale.
With that industrial scale, there's capacity. I guess there's people visioning the consumption rate in the future, and where will that meet, and how do we target that? What are your scientists and you as the SRC looking at in terms of trying to map the future? I guess we're pin the tail on the donkey in the dark to a degree, because obviously there's some science behind that. What are you factoring in with where we're at in Saskatchewan in terms of, can we punch above our weight? Are we dominant? Do we have capacity to compete worldwide?
I think what's incredible about Saskatchewan, and as you can tell from my strong East Saskatchewan accent, I'm not from around here, is coming to Saskatchewan and realizing that this province already punches way above its weight in terms of the food that we produce for the world, the fuel, the fertilizer, the minerals, the capability and innovation here to be able to do that. So this is there's no sort of mystique around why Saskatchewan Research Council is now the second largest research council in Canada after the federal National Research Council. It's because this is the place where real innovation around industrial and agriculture happens. But answering your question around markets, we are already very focused on what the world needs, and we look to be able to manage our industry and our resource sector to be able to deliver that. The extension that we're doing with rare earths here is saying, moving from that upstream provision of just the raw material products to being able to deliver that value-added midstream, and understanding what the future market is going to be for those products. So, for example, electric vehicles. Electric vehicles in the early 2000s went through a huge bump. At the moment, there's that has paused for a lot of reasons, but you can see in the next 3, 4, and 5 years that's going to accelerate away again. Saskatchewan has the opportunity to provide some really, really important components of those electric vehicles, both in terms of the lithium battery components, and rare earths, which form the motors to these electric vehicles. So the opportunities for Saskatchewan to be able to future vision those markets and address those markets, a few years ahead is very important. That's really the role of SRC.
You said the 3-4 year vision, I guess, in terms of where things are going. Do you have indicators, or it's trying to predict the weather? I would imagine that these are the symptoms. It means it's going to rain on Friday.
Yeah.
But maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it's highly probable. You must have some indicators that are saying that this is the place to be because. Yeah. What would those be?
So what we look at global industrial and demand trends. We look at demand trends across North America. We have, so for example, SRC operates, although we're Saskatchewan and we're very much focused on Saskatchewan, we have 1,600 clients in 22 countries. We operate globally. So we're able to take that data and that information from those industrial and those marketing companies and bring that back and start to understand in that dark room where we have the crystal ball, and to start to understand where we place our investment, where we place our bets in terms of where do we develop for what we're likely to see 3 or 4 years down the road. It's a probabilities game, and you're absolutely right. Sometimes we get it very right, and sometimes not so right. But more often than not, we're on a pretty good batting average at the moment.
Very right and more right, I would probably
Yeah,
say.
yeah, very right and more right.
What is the actual product? I mean, if we're looking at $1 billion with a $20 million investment by the province, that's a magnificent return. Congratulations on delivering that. What is the actual product that the Research Council is selling? Is it the technology? Do they actually go out and mine these minerals, or how do you gain your income on the commercialized side?
Do you know, I've never been asked that question. It's one of those things. What a great question. No, that actually is a really great question. And I think my immediate thought to that when you ask that question is knowledge, because what we provide is the knowledge on how to do things more effectively, how to stay ahead of the competition. And we provide that knowledge to our clients, who are the industrial base here, the mining companies, some of the biggest mining companies, but also some of the smallest juniors as well. Also work with communities, with northern communities, with First Nations communities. It's providing knowledge so that they can move their industrial base or their aspirations further forward. Moreover than that, it's de-risked knowledge. So we take the risk. And it comes back to your previous question is, how do you know that that's going to be? Well, we try and do our best to do that. Once we've done that and we've hit something that is going to be highly valuable, we can disseminate the knowledge of how to do it at a low risk, what the markets are, what the investment required is to be able to move that thing forward. So it's about knowledge and de-risking for Saskatchewan industry and communities to be able to move those things forward. So I'd have a better answer to that if I had a chance to think about it. But this is amazing.
Question. We're going to come right back after this break and pick up more on that. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.